Hello there, cadets. It's me, Counselor Steve again. It's been a little while since we've got together and I kind of missed you guys, so I thought it's time to make another video and get back in touch in the living rooms or bedrooms or dining rooms or wherever you happen to be watching this video of all of the cadets. By now your school year is probably done. It might not have finished the way you expected it to, but now we're into summer and we're going on. So let's just spend a little bit of time. Again, let's start off with being cadets. We should always start off with our landmarks. And last time I know it was kind of fun to start off with the two different pledges to the flag, because depending on which country you're in, you use a different flag. So let's first do the pledge to the flag of the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Or, if you're in Canada, you might know the one for Canada. I pledge respect and loyalty to the flag of Canada and to the dominion it represents. Wave with pride from ocean to ocean, and within your folds keep us forever united. Be for all a symbol of freedom and justice. God protect our country. And the rest of our landmarks. Cadets, what is your motto? Living for Jesus. Cadets, what is your verse? If you love me, you will keep my commandments. John 14, verse 15. Cadets, what is your code? Cadet must be reverent, obedient, compassionate, consecrated, trustworthy, pure, grateful, loyal, industrious, and cheerful. Cadets, what is your pledge? Thankful to God for his gifts to me, I pledge myself to be ready to serve God, my parents, my country, my church, my neighbor, and my corps. And for any of you counselors that are watching this, counselors, what is your mission? Helping boys to grow more Christ-like in all areas of life. So we've done our landmarks. It's like we're starting an official cadet evening. And so cadet evenings have different types of things involved with them. And sometimes you get to learn a bit about people. You might have somebody special come in and give a presentation. You might do a Bible lesson. You might work on the crafts. So today I thought, you know, you've seen a couple of these videos with me and you've seen all that stuff back there on the wall. And I thought, you know what? I'm just going to explain some of this stuff to you. What is this stuff back there? Why do I have a box of Rice Krispies up near the ceiling, up on the shelf? You know, so let's just take a bit of time and go through all of the stuff that's back there. Here I am with some of the stuff that I've got down here in my basement, which is also my office, as we have to work from home these days. So I'm just going to start off showing you a few of the things here. I've got a picture of a former captain of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Dion Phaneuf. I'm a big Toronto Maple Leafs fan, have been all my life, so I have a bit of that to remind myself of that, even though I'm not in the Toronto area anymore. Here I've got different things. I just like collectibles, you know, there's different fancy pop cans. I've got one there from Graceland, which is Elvis Presley's home in Memphis, Tennessee. You know, just some old comic books down at the bottom there, some Calvin and Hobbes, things like that. Can't forget that I'm Canadian. Not that I would forget, but friends of mine gave me that before I moved from Canada to the United States to work for cadets. Here I have some more things. A bunch of it's just some old videos, but I've got some old sports cards, some baseball cards, some hockey cards that I collect. Way down there, stamp collection and all of that. And some of the other things that I keep here. This is one of my favorite autographs. It's Gordie Howe, one of the top hockey players of all time. And so there it is. To Steve and all the best from Gordie Howe. I got to meet him once, and so he autographed that for me. I've got another autograph too in a magazine. He wanted to keep my magazine, but I wouldn't let him. Toronto Raptor, Andrea Bargnani, who was a #1 pick for them once. That's an autographed picture. And some odds and ends. I'm a baseball fan besides a hockey fan, and it was a pretty big and important thing for us when the Toronto Blue Jays won the World Series back in 1992 and 1993. So I kept some of the things, a troll that memorized, some pop cans from back then. They're still closed. The Coke's still in there. So I keep those. They even made special Rice Krispie boxes for the Toronto Blue Jays in the World Series. Rice Krispies are still in there. They're probably a little too old to eat now, but I've kept that. And a few other little things here and there. bobbleheads, baseball, football, lacrosse. I have this one because you might not never have heard of that guy. He's James Veltman. He played in the National Lacrosse League for a whole lot of years. He's got a number of the records and that from loose balls and his defensive play and on that. But I like it because I actually went to high school with Jimmy. Autographed baseball. The dirtier baseballs there in the back, if you can see them, are all actual game day balls from Toronto Blue Jay games that I've been to. Autographed puck by Theron Fleury, NHL player. Here, I don't know if you can see it down there. That's the first sports autograph I ever got. That was Tiger Williams. He was a hockey player for Toronto way back when I was a kid. I think he was better at fighting than he was at scoring, but he was still a cool player. And of course, TV and my Wii, some Wii games down there that I can play now and then. Then some more things on this side. Autographed baseball, Toronto Blue Jay players. Jason Fraser holds the record for most games as a Toronto Blue Jay for a pitcher. Not for all the players, but as a pitcher at least. And then some other things that I like too. I like NASCAR, not just team sports. So there's Jeff Gordon. Dale Earnhardt, a model of his car. That's Dale Earnhardt Sr., not Jr., so that goes back a ways. Your parents might remember who that was. Kevin Harvick from when he first started. And some other things that I've just kind of kept over the years. Some programs, some books. Way back there, I've got the newspaper from when lady died in her funeral, and so that was just something that I kept the newspaper from then. And then a few other special autographs. Most of you probably don't have an official rules of baseball, and you might wonder why I kept an official rules of baseball. Got an autograph from a major league umpire. So if you have a player sign something they play with, I thought I should have an umpire sign the rule book. And then this, a track and field program. I was at a meet back in 1996. The cover there is Donovan Bailey. He was a Canadian sprinter, and at the time he was the fastest man in the world. And I've got his autograph too. Thank you, Donovan. I got to meet him, so I have his autograph. So that's just a little bit about me and the stuff that I've got on the wall back here. So there you go. That's a bit of the information about the stuff behind me. What difference does it make, though, if you know a bit about what's on my walls? Do you think you know me maybe a little bit better? Do you think through a year of cadets, your counselor gets to know you? Has your counselor asked you about, how your soccer team's doing, or how you're doing in math, or, if you play on or run on a cross-country team, ask you how your races are doing? Does he ask you how your piano lessons are going? I'm thinking that your counselor probably has done a few of those things, and it allows your counselor to know a bit more about you. If we met, I'd probably ask you how you were doing. Now, normally, if I walk up to you and say, "How are you today?" I'm guessing you'd say good. But if we've met in person, you're not allowed to use that as an answer. You have to use a different word other than good. So if I say, "How are you doing today?" you could say great, or I'm hungry, or, "Well, I don't really want to be here and I'm kind of tired." And any one of those is a good enough answer other than good, because it lets me know a bit more about you. And when we know a bit about each other, it's easier to talk with each other. It gives us something to talk about. Now, you know who knows you more than anybody else? Now, you might say your mom or your dad, and they know you more than probably anybody else here on earth. But God knows more about you than you can even imagine. He knows how many hairs you have on your head. Now, that's a lot. If you started pulling them out one at a time and started trying to count, you'd get pretty high, because there's a lot of hair on most of your head. And he knows that. So somebody that knows you that well, you can talk about anything, and he understands why it's important to you, because, he understands you. And that's what our theme this year has been all about. Hi, God, it's me. I can go to God and start talking to him like that because he knows me. He knows what I like. He knows I like baseball and hockey and those things back there. He knows I like collecting things. He knows I like watching sports on TV, cars going around in circles or people playing baseball. But he also knows I like to take time to read my Bible. He knows I'd like to take time and go for a walk. He knows all about me. And so anytime I want, I can just go back to him and start talking. And we have something always in common that we can talk about because he understands what I like. And hopefully, I like what he likes. Right? That's why we go through cadets. We want to learn what Jesus wants. We want to learn what it means to be living for Jesus, to like what Jesus likes, to do what God wants us to do. So your church might not be having cadets these days because, well, it's summer and oftentimes we don't meet as cadets over the summer. But that doesn't mean your counselors have stopped thinking about you. Hopefully you haven't stopped thinking about them either. Maybe give them a little note and say, "Hey, Counselor Jim, I'm thinking about you. Thanks for all you've done for me last year." They'll think that's pretty special that you're thinking about them. And I'm pretty sure they'll be able to respond and know something that's going on in your life too. So until next time, thanks for spending some cadet time with me and have a good day.